Okay, I want to talk about something. We had sad to start the show. We went back to some fun stuff with BLTs.
Yep.
I do want to go back to something, though, that is related to Corona that has been a sad realization for me.
Okay.
I've talked about Cincinnati a ton. I've been so dang excited about moving there. And one of the reasons why I wanted to move there was to go to football games this fall.
Because there's a lot of Notre Dame and
Yeah, I mean,
Indianapolis
it's
Colts
within 4 hours of let's say 20 football programs, college and professional, and then another additional 15 college basketball programs. I was like, to live there for 6 months and go to events would be awesome.
Yep, every weekend was your plan. Yeah. It was an adventure, yep.
Guess what's not going on? Probably this fall is adventures. I mean, you're not going to, if they have football, likely they're not going to allow fans to go. Even if they do I really want to go?
Yep.
And then what I found, so as all that was going on, as sports got canceled and I was realizing, well, crap. If I go to Cincinnati, I'm just going to live I love the city of Cincinnati, but I'm not going to go on all those cool adventures, which was the point of moving there.
Right. You weren't just looking for a cool city to live in.
Yeah.
It was a base of operations.
Yes. And then the other sad reality is as I've looked into, okay, if I do move there, how are the internet speeds? And I've looked around, and unfortunately, Ohio is actually one of the slowest internet areas in the fucking country. Like, in America, Ohio has one of the worst internet, and probably is, if there was like a bunch of tiers, Ohio's in the lowest tier. In like Detroit has fast internet, Ohio, all of Ohio, Cincinnati is actually the worst. Some of it, literally in the country, internet speeds. It's just terrible. Now, terrible's relative. I mean, you can still get, if you want 400 megabytes per second download speed, like if you want to play video games, it's great. Like you can have a very functional internet speed in Cincinnati. For most normal people, like if you're playing video games at home, it's great. The problem is I'm not really a normal person that just uses regular internet speeds. I need very fast, high-speed internet.
Because you're uploading an hour and a half long, 2 hour long videos.
Yeah, I need the fastest possible in the country. I need like 1,000 megabytes per second, and I need that for upload speed, not download speed. So I need crazy high speeds, and they just don't have it. You can get adequate in Cincinnati for a normal human. You can't get adequate for YouTubing in Cincinnati. And so I'm like, crap. Well, I can't go on adventures, and I can't even get internet speeds. It's just not acceptable. Like what I found. Every option is unacceptable. It's slower than here, and here is too slow for me.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't move somewhere and downgrade internet speeds. That's just terrible.
Yeah, you're just barely getting by with the speed here where we live now.
It takes me an hour and a half to upload a 10 gigabyte file to YouTube, and it's ridiculous.
And you don't want to go from that to a place that's going to make you twice as slow or twice as long or 3 times as long.
Yeah, it's already literally hard for me to do business. So what I've looked around the country is I've found AT&T fiber is offered in very specific parts of the country. But they're them and Verizon Fios, but Verizon Fios is literally only in Manhattan. That's why when I was in Manhattan, my internet speed were unbelievable. My fucking my video takes an hour and a half here, upload in 6 minutes in Manhattan. I was like, wow.
So from an hour and a half, 90 minutes to upload
here.
The same length video in Manhattan, it uploaded in 6 minutes.
Yes.
From 90 to 6.
Yes. So I'm gonna move somewhere where my internet speeds can be similar to that. Now, what are my options? Like LA, but I'm not going to Southern California. It's too expensive. No way.
Yeah.
I could go to Kent, Washington, where Amazon and Microsoft are, but that's too cold, and I don't want to live in Seattle.
Lots of traffic and very expensive.
It's literally like I might as well move to LA if I'm going to fucking move to Kent, Washington. It's like literally terrible.
I would rather be in LA than Kent, Washington.
Yeah. The traffic's literally worse in Seattle than LA.
Yeah.
And it's cold. Fuck no. I could move to New York, but that's crazy expensive. I can't afford New York.
Well, and
I don't want to.
Tragedy's happening there. So
yeah, I couldn't. I maybe could find a way to be miserable. I could find the cheapest place possible. I just don't want to live. It's not a good quality of life in New York for me to live there.
Yeah.
I could maybe make it work, but it would suck. So what I found is, okay, my options with fast internet are all along the Gulf of Mexico, like Texas, Mobile, Alabama. Actually, is really Mobile, fucking Alabama has better internet than here. What the fuck? Like, who would have thought that, right? Like, Mississippi does all up and down Florida. The coast does Jacksonville, the other side, Tampa Bay does, Miami does. Literally the entire eastern coast of Florida from Jacksonville down to Miami, not Pensacola, whatever the stuff is there. All Daytona has great internet. All have great internet. Every city there's if you look on AT&T fiber, there's 70 cities between Jacksonville and Miami that all have the highest internet speeds in America. And then lo and behold, what I found is Charleston, South Carolina, and Wilmington, North Carolina, which are temperate weather. It's not as muggy and humid like Tampa Bay or Jacksonville. It's a little bit more moderate heat. And it's kind of where I found like that's probably where I'm going to go in August is to go live in Wilmington or Charleston, North or South Carolina, where the weather stays it's going to high 80s in the summer and then, mid 60s, the high 50s in the winter. It's warmer there. It's way faster internet. It's a lot cheaper to live than it is here. And it kind of checks all the boxes of wanted. Now, the only thing I can find is that Wilmington is got a higher movie production stuff. So if I want to ever, like, if my friends or I ever want to go work on movies there, you could do it in Wilmington. You can't in Charleston. Charleston's probably a better city. And then it looks like Charleston is a little bit safer from hurricanes than Wilmington is, which is a better, I think maybe Charleston's the move because I don't want to have my business affected for a couple days where I have no power and can't upload stuff because a hurricane wiped out the town. So I don't know what you're looking up, but I found that probably where I'm going to go in August instead of Cincinnati, which is heartbreaking and sad to me, probably going to go to Charleston, South Carolina, where it's warm, there's fast internet, it's cheaper to live, and it's one. I think if you look up the prettiest places in America to live, literally number one, fucking Charleston. And I found that out after I literally figured out every other checklist on the box. So what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? What did you look up?
Charleston has an amazing culinary scene.
So you're like, I'd love to visit you there.
Oh yeah, I'd love to visit there. And then you don't know this now, but
Yeah.
you'll be in what's called the Low Country.
What's that?
It's a geographic area that's kind of low, and the beaches and etc. It's also a certain culture, and Charleston is part of Low Country. And then they do this thing called the Low Country Boil.
Is that crawdads?
No, yeah, like it's a seafood boil. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just depends what they put in it, but yeah, I think that would be awesome for you to check out because it's going to be a very, very different culture, a very, very different culture.
Well, what's been interesting is like Wilmington is because really it's come down to those two places for me, and I'm going to try to go visit them if I can, if it's even possible in July. But what I found is Wilmington is a lot cheaper and quieter, but it's like the difference in rent is like $400. So it's like it's a lot, but it's not so great. It's not New York it's not that big a difference. And I've been kind of weighing the differences. It's a little bit warmer in Charleston. Probably it's definitely prettier in Charleston.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city.
Charleston's a cooler city. Wilmington's a lot more quiet, which I don't mind. I'm an introvert. I don't want to be bothered. I want to be able to work in my house and be left alone. But I was sitting there with Liz. We were talking about it, and I'm like, well, the difference in rent is like $300, right? And am I really going to cheap out and go to a city that's not as cool? And just because I don't love going out on the town doesn't mean I don't want the option to do that. And if we lived there for 15 years, wouldn't you want to always be able to why go somewhere with fewer options? That doesn't make sense, right?
And there's beautiful coast right there near Charleston.
Yeah. So I think my guess is probably in September I'm going to move to Charleston, South Carolina.
So I think one of my books that I was going to have published this year is going to be pushed off a year just because of all this. I think it's going to come out fall of 2021.
Yeah.
I think everything's being pushed off a year, and I want you to go and have adventure. I'm 100% behind that, right?
Yeah.
Allow yourself the ability to know maybe I don't move until spring of 2021 or summer of 2021 just because of how economics and life and settling. And
well, what's sad is my landlord wants to sell the place I live, and so I have I have to go somewhere in September. If I'm gonna go somewhere, shouldn't I just go where I want to go? I'm kind of torn and I'm in a weird
just
place.
See what finances are and what the economy.
And maybe he goes, you can sign a 6-month lease and stay for football season. That might be what happens.
Yep.
Probably would take that because I think the market's really bad right now.
Yep.
But it's just weird and interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. But it is an option. I think whenever I go somewhere, probably going to be Charleston.
And so you heard that I'm not saying don't go.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying it just might be 6 months later than you want.
My thought process too is if I can try to make it happen in September to go to Charleston, the housing market will still be cheaper a year from now. So my thought is if I can go there now, rent for a year, find a place to establish myself, and then go, okay, that's because you want to, when you live somewhere, you kind of get a sense of this is a neighborhood I actually want to be in. But if you don't live there, it's hard to get a really sense of that.
Yes, yep.
So if I can move there for a little while, rent for a year or 6 months,
get the lay of the land,
then buy a house after another year, assuming everything stays, assuming sports are okay, and I even have a business,
right.
But it's, that's my thought. What do you think of Charleston just as a place?
As far as everything I've seen and known, it's great. It would be fun to go do culinary stories there.
And thanks for warning me. I'm aware. I know. I don't even know what's gonna happen. Who knows? Everything's up in the air right now.
Yep.
But I've learned Cincinnati wasn't possible, and I had to grieve that for a little while. I was like, fuck, I
So
can't have any of the stuff I want there.
If out of the blue someone says, "Hey, I got high speed for you in Cincinnati that's as fast as here or fiber,"
Yeah.
you're open to the hearing from them.
Not if I can't go to sports.
Right, I understand, but
Yeah.
but at least you're open to hearing about it.
Yeah, I'm not against it, but it'd still be a quick stop. Like, and then the more I think about it, like, how much do I actually like? You and I went to football games every weekend, right? And I was lucky because during the XFL season, there's only 4 games a weekend. Here's the reality of me going to an NFL game every weekend. It's fucking tiring, as I'll get it. It would be truly. And then I'm at one game, I can't watch the other games and can't know what's going on at the other games. And then I got to go home. So I just don't have. I think I would really be unproductive at work if I was traveling every weekend for football games.
I think a better plan for your football adventures is once a month for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to Notre Dame in October, and I'm going to Lambeau Field in December, and every month during football season for the next 4 or 5 years, you take a monthly trip.
I think so, or even every other month, because I think the reality is what makes me happy. The same experience fans get, which I like watching football on TV. I like making nachos. I like hanging out. I like sitting on my couch, doing my thing. And I don't really like. I think it'd be cool to go to Lambeau. I think it'd be cool to go to a Michigan football game. But do I really want that experience every weekend? Not really.
Well, not when you have to watch all the NFL games and all the college games for work.
Yeah, and honestly, like it's a better work experience and it's a better fan experience to sit at home and to have a man cave in Charleston, South Carolina, where I work and hang out and do my thing.
Yep.
Honestly, sounds like a better experience at this point in my journey. And so I had to do a lot of thinking about it, but Corona got me headed in that direction, realizing like, fuck, if I can't go to games, I really want to be in Cincinnati. And then internet's not there. And then what I really want, and I've done a lot of thinking and journaling. And so I'm probably not going to go to Cincinnati. And whenever I do leave this area, I'm going to Charleston next is my next thought.
That's your current plan.
Yeah, unless because I'm going to go to Wilmington and Charleston, I'm going to fly there and drive to
check
probably
it out.
fly to Charleston. See, like, is Wilmington better? Because it's 2 hours away, might as well, and then pick one of the 2 cities. But I want to go somewhere warm. I want to go somewhere with faster internet, and that's what I want. So I'm going to make that happen. And I'm going to miss you, but I think. I can't wait for the day you come visit me in my beach house, like that. Or probably going to live 20 minutes from the beach.
Right.
But still, like, how fucking awesome would that be? So, it'd be cool.